What's up, my dudes? Welcome back. My name is Klaus, and thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're going to have a first look at a brand new game that just came out. It is called The Walking Dead Match 3 Tales, and it is a fantastic game. The first thing I want to bring you guys' attention to is this lovely, lovely music. Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. I've been jamming to that music so much. Let's get into how this game works and why you should download it. You can find a download link, by the way, down below in the video description. And shout out to Come To Us and Walking Dead Match 3 Tales for sponsoring today's video. Walking Dead Match 3 Tales is a combination of several genres. Of course, we have the Walking Dead, so we have familiar characters that we'll get into in a moment. But the first thing you'll notice is that this is a base development game, okay? You've got your resource balancing and infrastructure to deal with, upgrading stuff. In fact, I have a VIP available right now that allows me to immediately finish off an upgrade. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that upgrade off right there, and I'm upgrading houses to hold more survivors. It's just the right thing to do, you know? These poor people, in case you're not familiar with The Walking Dead, you live under a rock or something, we're all in trouble. And so we're developing a base and people are coming to us to survive, right? And so I wanna have lots of houses and things to keep them alive. There's a button on the bottom left hand side. I'm gonna go ahead and click that right there. It brings you to the survival guide, aka the tutorial. You want to follow this. It gives you an idea of how to play. Right now, the last thing in this particular chapter, I'm in chapter 7 of 36, that I need to do is clear chapter 5 of the campaign, which we'll talk about here in a moment. But right now, let's talk about the strategy, okay? There's a strategy to the battles, and we'll get into the battles in a moment as well, and it has to do with our roster, okay? I would call them heroes coming from a Clash of Clans background, but for our roster, okay? I'll just click the main guy. Everyone knows Rick Grimes, okay? And there's so many things to talk about on this page, but I'm gonna keep it simple. You guys download the game and play around for yourself, but the main thing you would need to notice is this level up button, okay? I just leveled him up to level 61 out of 80. I just happen to have the resources to upgrade him one time. You want to upgrade him, but you need specific resources in order to upgrade him. And one of them is food. Your base develops that. You get it from raiding, but also the other one is the survival manuals, which you also get from doing the campaign and survivors. So like I said, you want survivors to come around because everyone's knowledge is coming together to make you better, right? So the survivor manuals makes perfect sense. But there's also equipment. So my Rick characters, he's got himself a pistol. What do they call this in this game? A revolver. Of course, a sheriff's revolver. You gotta have a sheriff's revolver if you're gonna be using Rick. And I've just got a bunch of items that I've accumulated, and I want to give them to each of my roster. There's also the active skill, which you're able to upgrade as you accumulate these skill points that you get for various things. I think they're called survivor emblems, but either way, you want to develop and have one of each element of your main line, okay? So for instance, you can see Rick is gold, he is humane, it says. I would have said light or holy or something like that, but there's also the opposite side of that, which is the purple, whatever this is called, brutal. So it's like the evil side. You want to have one of all 5 of the various elements in your team, and you also want to understand the balance between them all, okay? So we'll talk about that once we get into a fight. You can actually recruit more rosters or more heroes, okay? And so what I want to do is go into, let's see, which one do I find? Actually, I think I got a free recruitment. I got a bunch of free recruitments here. I've accumulated some items. You know what? Let's recruit some people. They're barely surviving, and bam, breakthrough. Yeah, you can skip that if you want to. So who are we gonna summon? Oh, I've got to do this 10 times. Really? No. Okay, good. So I got some new people, and I've got some people I already had. This guy's glowing because he's really good. 5 stars. That's absolutely amazing. And then this guy's also Abraham. I have Abraham, but for some reason he's blue this time. I don't know. I'm still learning as we go, guys. I already have Herschel Green, and so it gave me one of the emblems instead, which is absolutely fantastic. And of course, the star count on the very top is going to determine how rare they are, how strong they are, etc. Obviously, you want to use your best ones whenever you go out and you do some fighting. Anyway, so these are my my heroes, and of course, so you have Abraham in the fire version, the flame, and then you also have Abraham in the blue. I would have said water, but of course that's probably not what it actually is. But you can actually assemble your team differently with different characters based on your elements. Again, you really ideally would want one of each. You can also go to the glossary and see all of the different heroes that you can gain access to, and which alignment they have, etc, etc. So you want to give them the best equipment, upgrade them, maximize them based on your resources. Back to the survival guide. Let's go do a raid in the campaign. And I've already made it to chapter 5, so I'm actually out in East Forest right now, and I lost last time I tried to do this, so let's see if I've gotten any better. Now what's cool is that it actually shows you the elemental what elements you're going to be up against. So blue is weak to green. We'll talk about that in a moment. I kind of think of it like the Pokemon elements, right? Where water was weak to lightning, but also kind of sometimes weak to leaf or plant or whatever. So that kind of helps me remember what the elemental strengths and weaknesses are. But so this is where the match comes into the title of Walking Dead Match 3 Tales. Now there's not a timer or anything, so you can take your time. If you look at the top left hand side, you can see the little triangle with the elemental thing. So water is weak to grass, or blue is weak to green, green is weak to red, red is weak to blue, and then purple is weak to yellow, and vice versa. So that is kind of how this works. So now you look at the enemies, you see, okay, like this, the hog on the left hand side is blue. That means he is weak to green. So ideally I would take this green one and swap it over there and do extra damage. Now if you do weakness damage, so for instance, like if I hit the hog on the right, which is blue, with red, right, then it's strong to that, so it's a weak attack. It's not good. So this is so much more than just a match. It's like whenever I first saw it, I was like, oh great, a match battle, whatever. But then I realized there's some strategy in there, all right, and that's pretty awesome. Now that every once in a while there's like special tiles and stuff, we'll talk about them as they come up. But check this out. Look at all that gold going through there and crushing. Now of course the gold boars on the back are strong to their own element, so you don't want to attack something with its own element. However, to be honest with you, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, right? So you can't always be thinking too hard about the elements and what's going on, but it is something cool to be paying attention to. Oh, okay. Then our heroes on the bottom have special abilities. So I'm actually gonna use Glenn's ability. He's green, so he does extra damage against blue, and that doesn't use up any turns or anything like that. And then the red bar on the bottom, underneath all the heroes, is their health bar. You don't want your heroes to all die. Once they all die, you lose. So I'm going to actually use Rick's ability. They're all gold, so it's not really that great of an attack, but he's strong, so he does do a lot of damage either way. So these are gold, so I'm going to use purple against them. Bam, it's a strong attack. That's absolutely amazing. And you know what? I'm going to use fire and probably destroy them both. Nice. All right, then I've got one more wave. This is going to be the boss battle. So this is blue, so I want to use green if I can. I see a green opportunity there. That's going to wipe out that one hog on the right. There's gold in the back, so we want to watch out for that. But look at that red dot in the middle that's kind of pulsing. I'm going to click that, and it's going to activate all these at the same time. Of course, red wasn't the right element, but again, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. Again, I wasn't in love with the idea of a match game. I don't play match games. Many people do. They love it. For me, it wasn't all that exciting until I realized like there's actual like elemental positional things that have to happen. So for instance, like I'm going to use let's see, I'm going to send the gold on the right, and notice how most of them miss the hog, right? So position matters too. It's not just about element, which is pretty dang awesome. Well, let's use all these golds, and that should take out that one on the right. And then you also sometimes get these combos, and it does extra damage. It's pretty satisfying, similar to like a slot machine type effect. Pretty awesome. So let's throw in some fire. It wasn't the best choice, but I did get a combo. And then let's use Glenn. Are we gonna wipe them out now? Yes. Victory, baby. That's what's up. And it doesn't even tell you victory. It tells you that you survived. Great, I survived, but did I win? I don't know. I don't want to survive. I want to live. Anybody know that reference? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, so when you win, you get rewards. So I got all kinds of stuff. I got a weapon. I got a hammer. That's cool. What is that? Scrap metal? Yeah, metal fragments. Pretty awesome. And 984 survival manuals. Those are the ones that I really watch for, because it gives you, like, you need it to do so many things. So I'm going to go back to my base here. Oh, I got a reward. I'm going to claim that real quick. There's a way to automate these battles. Let me show you guys that really quickly. It is nice, but if you're not really, really strong, you'll probably fail.
Let's see if this place has any food.
If only we grabbed some canned food out of that house before we escaped.
they can be cute little stories, and you get into the characters, you start to feel for them, and there's voice acting, which is kind of nice. So let's go in and attack. This one's all blue, so ideally I just use like a bunch of green roster heroes, but I don't have that many. So let's just go ahead and go fight, and I want to show you guys you can automate this if you really want to. Again, you won't do as well, but if you look on the top right hand side, the little like fast forward looking button, you click that, now it's circling and glowing, and now it'll automatically do stuff. It doesn't make the best decisions, like you will always do better than this will, right? But it's kind of nice if you get busy all of a sudden, you need to come away from your screen for a moment to automate it. This is almost a situation where I would take over, because the AI is going to hopefully use Glenn's ability and wipe out the dog, but if there's no heroes, then they'll just send tiles up and miss every time because it's kind of particular. So what I'll usually do is let them take care of at least the first couple of waves, and then I might come in, because you can just click the little glowing button at the top that looks like a fast forward symbol, click it again, and then you take over again. So it's not like a permanent decision, which is nice. And then you can really pinpoint where the attacks need to go, because the AI is bad at that. So we made it to the boss round, and I haven't had to do anything yet, so I'm impressed. We'll see if I need to take over to survive. I've already lost Andrea. She's not gonna come back. Like, she will after the round is over, of course. She's not dead, but she's dead for this round. We'll see what happens. Nope, I did not survive. You can continue with the gold bars. That puts you back in your position that you were in. By the way, you accumulate gold bars rather easily. So it kind of puts you back where you were with the amount of progress that you had, which is kind of nice. So if you have gold, you always make sure you have gold so that you can continue your rounds and actually win. There you go. Okay, so it cost me some gold, but I won. That's how the battles go. I really like the elemental side of things and the positional side of things. It adds some strategy to it that otherwise, if it wasn't there, it would just be, let's just match colors together, which doesn't really appeal to me. I'm just gonna click through this, but ideally you would pay attention to the story because it is kind of charming. Okay, so got a bunch of nice things, and let's go back to base. I think that's enough for today. There's a lot to this game. I don't want to give you guys information overload. That probably already was, but there's a lot of things going on the screen. Click the red dots and just learn as you go. That's the best suggestion that I have. One thing I do want to mention is that occasionally you're given the option to watch an ad for gains, for equipment or whatever. Highly recommend doing that. You can also spend real money in the game to get the premium rewards or the like, for instance, the survival pass, right? Like, you want to go to rewards, and you can unlock rewards by buying the premium survival pass, and there's a lot of benefits to doing that as well. So that is all for today. If you guys would like another video on this game and covering a lot more detail about what you can do, various things like the watchtowers are really cool. The modes we didn't really cover, but like the herd and things like that, lots of stuff to do. Also joining an alliance, getting into inviting your friends, which by the way you should definitely do here. Let's click that little mailbox on the top left hand side, hit invite, and then if you click the invite button, you can send invites to your friends. If they join and do stuff, you get rewarded. Super awesome. Highly recommend doing that. In fact, I might spam some friends and get these rewards because it's absolutely worth it. Thank you once again to Walking Dead Match 3 Tales and Come To Us for sponsoring today's video. If you guys would like to check out the game, once again, the link is down below in the description, and I hope to see you in the game.